Our scripture reading this evening is from the Divine Office, Psalm 90, verse 7. He who dwells in the shelter of your light, he who walks in the shadow of the Lord, will say, the Lord is my strength, my guide, my shelter. And the Lord will reply, you are my delight. Let's bow our heads as we pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, in the Gospel of Mark, Matthew, and Luke, you said, in a voice, this is my delight. Bless us, Heavenly Father, that each one of us realize we are the beloved of the Lord, and thus walk with Him as our guide, our strength. And may God bless us in our act of faith that makes the Lord our guide and strength, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Now ask Dr. Van Straten to come to the stage for medical support.
I know you're tired and you might have not even good so I just jotted down some pointers that you might be able to use this year, but it's actually because you also might change your subjects or you've chosen your career, but this is also for life. Grade 11's face a hectic schedule with a lot of work. So it's how you approach this year and your attitude that's going to make the difference. So in the Bible, we read about Solomon, who we depict as one of the most wisest men who ever lived. Of course, God asked him. He gave him a question. If I could give you anything, what would you want? And Solomon was not from Kimberley because he was asked to grow the watershed. But he asked for knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. I'm giving it to you in the order of process. So equals information, and understanding equals comprehension, and wisdom is the application of these. So information does not benefit you if you can't comprehend it and you can't apply it. So when you come to school and you have to do a subject, try to process the information, make it interesting for yourselves. Even the subjects that you don't really like, try to comprehend what it means so that you can apply it one day when you go and study or in your job. There's a parable in the Bible of a master who had 3 servants, and he decided to give each servant a talent. But talents in those days were a form of currency. So he gave his one servant 5 talents, and he gave the other one 2, and he gave one of them 1. And what did they do with these talents? We all received talents. So the master came back because they always see the accounts. And he asked them, what did you do with these talents? And the one that received 5 made it 10. And in those days it equaled 75 million rand today. So he made that double that. And then the one that received 2, double that. And the one that received 1, he buried his talent. So the master was so proud and he trusted the first 2. But the last one he called lazy. I know it seems cruel, but this is what he told him: you're lazy because you buried your talent. So he did not apply his knowledge. I'm just going to share 5 principles of success to you for 2025. It's people, purpose, planning, passion, and persistence. So people, you can't be successful without people. You have your teachers, you have your friends, you have your parents or guardians. So we need people to be successful. However, we need to be careful who we surround ourselves with. It's always good to have somebody with you who's going in the same direction, moving in the same direction as you at school, with friends, have the same purpose. Your goals need to align. So, these people need to support you and to be positive in purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you just go to school and you dream of break time, and then you wish for school to end. I'm talking find something more than break or vacation. You have no purpose. So people with purpose have no working hours. They have a purpose. But people without purpose, they only have a job. And you don't want that one day. So then you have passion. Passion drives success. It's driven by purpose. So if you are obligated, nothing can stop you. If you just come into school because you have to, you have no obligation. So remember the speech of Martin Luther King. He gave on the 6th of the Lincoln Memorial. So it was I have a dream. But I think more potent message he had was in later years in a tiny church that could only see about 100 people, he said. And now his life was already threatened because of his purpose and what he believed in for his people. So he said, it doesn't matter what they do to me anymore, it's already done. He believed so much in his purpose. purpose, just come visit me. I'll help. Okay. In planning, have a plan. When I ask some people, what are you going to do next year? They just say, I don't know. What do you want to do with your life? I don't know. You have to plan these things. You're in charge of your life. And put it on paper, make a vision board for yourself now with your goals so that you plan what you want. I just want to remind you, God promised in Proverbs 16, if you have a plan, He will direct your path. So you won't ever be alone. And the last one is persistence. Persistence equals consistent insistence. To reach your goals, and you refuse to stop, that is persistence. To accomplish your goals, the outcome to overcome the hurdles. Whatever you were born to be, you're not just going to become, you have to go get it. So go get your goals this year and make your vision board. Thank you.
Communication protocol and upcoming events for the year 2025.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to address you tonight. I'll be discussing the communication protocol within the school and highlight some of the most exciting upcoming events. So I will begin by discussing the communication protocol. Parents, please be informed that our protocol goes for our communication starts from the subject teacher and then the register teacher. So register teachers, we have Ms. Teresa, we have Mr. Tindana, and we have Mr. Audrey. From register teachers, communication will then go to Mr. Magiwa, who is the head of grade 11, and from Mr. Magiwa it goes to Mr. Shoma, who is the head of high school, and from Mr. Shoma it goes to Mr. Nick, who is the executive head of the school. Please stay informed about the evening class timetable, assessment schedules, and assessments. So all this information can be accessed from Teams, on the Wiz, as well as on Engage, where you are able also to monitor your child's academic progress. Moving on to the events of the year. The first event that we have for the year will be in term 1, where we will be fundraising for the 2025 metric tests. And then in term 2, we are going to be fundraising for our own metric tests, which is going to be the 2026 metric tests. And the last event we are going to have will happen in term 3. We will look at transition and leadership opportunities. We are going to be doing prefects, elections, grade 11 camp, which will take place from the 20th until the 23rd of September 2025.
We now call on Mr. Magiwa to discuss cost requirements and the payment amounts.
Good evening, everyone. So now we want to get into the nitty-gritties of our levels. So as we get into the year, right, let's please remember, just a reminder, we already gave our levels chem slips or letters, so we need the chem slips by this Friday. Just a reminder. And then looking at the past requirements for the levels. So as we are in the year where at the end of this year to apply at universities. So it is important that we know the past requirements of the level. So also, as you pursue your academic excellence, let's not shy away from sporting, cultural activities, and leadership activities. So when we look at the past requirements of FET, we see that to qualify for National Senior Certificate or matric, a pupil must achieve a minimum of 40% in 3 subjects, one being home language, and a minimum of 30%. And you will see that this, if you achieve such kind of results like these ones, that will be your higher certificate. And then for you to get your diploma, you will need 3 subjects with 40% or higher, actually 40%, including home language, and 2 subjects with 30%. And then for you to get a bachelor's degree pass, you will need at least 40% in home language, and then 4 subjects with 50%, that excludes life orientation, and 2 subjects with 30%. And then let's look also at the admissions point system. You see that with the admissions point system, these are the levels which you get for every subject to calculate your admissions point system in different institutions of higher learning. So every time you get a report, you need to calculate your admission points so that you see if what you are doing or if your results tally with your goals. So you need to also check with your different institutions which you want to go and do your qualifications for your degrees with, and see if what actually are their admission point systems, because these vary from institution to institution. So having said that, also for you to plan, you always have to look behind what we have gone through. So we have 3 years of high school with our current grades. So we also need to look at that, because grade 11 is a year of building strong study habits and managing time effectively and wisely and staying committed to your goals. So most of you know what you want to pursue after school. So for that, let's look at how we performed in the past 3 years in high school. So you see on the slide there, those are your results when you were in grade 10, grade 8 in 2022. You see that the averages which are of concern were Africans, which was below 60. So I'm just, because with the AIEB average, usually for us as a school, we are targeting an average of 70%. So those subjects which are below with more than 10% from 70 are the ones which will be of concern as we go. So as we look at the previous years, let's just look at that, because as a school we've been achieving 100%. So now we want to achieve 100% with quality results. So that is our target. So you'll see here in grade 8, maths and natural science were below 60, which are of great concern. And then when we come to grade 9, you see that again Afrikaans is of concern. We have got average of 52, and we have got mathematics, which is below 60, which is 53, and we have got natural science, which has got biology and physical sciences, which is below 60. And also we have got dramatic arts, which is below 60. So those, we can see, if we move on to the next slide now, where we look at the term 4 of grade 8 and term 4 of grade 9. Right. So in grade 8, 2022, and grade 9, 2023, you will see that Afrikaans, it is only term 4 now, comparing that. You will see there was a slight improvement from 54% to 55%. And then, when we look at mathematics, there was a huge negative 10%, which is a decrease. So this is in grade 9, reflecting the group of learners we had then. And then if we move on now to analyze the results which were obtained in 2024, analysis of results per term for 2024, you will see there we've got the number of pupils in term 1 were 62, in the term 2 were 58, in the term 3 were 58, and in term 4 were 58. And then looking at the highest performer of the group last year, term 1, he had an aggregate of 88.68%, and in term 2, it went up to 90.04%, and in term 3 and term 4, it's a constant 89%. And then when we look also at the lowest achiever for that rate, we've got term 1, it's 42.54%, and then it went up 47.73%, 46 in term 3, and 44 in term 4. So this is just to give us an idea of the group we are having, so that we know what to expect and what to do. We sit back and how much we need to push. Because remember, as a school, and also I don't think there's a parent who wants a child who get a target rate of that much. The reason for that, sometimes we see that these kids, when they're in grade 10, they are still trying to find out which subjects they like, which subjects are they good in. There's a lot of movement at grade 10. At grade 11 now, there'll still be movement, but we expect them to start stabilizing as we prepare for grade 12. And then you see that the grade average, the pass rate, sorry, can you go back? Sorry. Okay. On the analysis of results per term for 2024, right? I'm still on that other slide. Yes, go back. Let's go back. Yes, that's one. Okay. Now, if you look at this slide, you see we've got the grade average for our current grade levels. In term 1, it was 63.54. In term 2, it was 64.15. In term 3, 64. And in term 4, it came down. So you will see that this average, we expect to, what our target is that we need to bring it up this year. Because what we are targeting is that we will get 100%, yes, you can even see with the pass rate, we started with 97, 98, and then we went to 100%. Some of them are just passing, but we don't want just to pass to say we're at 100%. We now want quality. We want quality, so which means we need you as parents also to sit down with the kids. We need to be honest with them, because the moment we are not honest with them, we'll get into grade 12 with subjects which we are not performing, and then once we get that, we can't get any reasonable qualifications with them. So this is a time where we've got a whole year, not a whole year cycle, we've got a fraction of a year, but most of the years is ahead of us. We need to make decisions. Some of the decisions are tough, and these decisions will lead us to getting those quality results which you parents, children, pupils, and us as a school will be proud of. So that's why we're having this meeting, so that we know where we are coming from, and once we know where we are coming from, we will better plan for the future. And then you see we've got diploma passes, bachelor degree passes, 49, 46, 55, 44. We aim to have 100% bachelor degree pass. And a lot of decisions have to be made, a lot of hard work needs to come in. And if we start early, like now in grade 11, we can achieve that. I don't think there's anyone sitting here who's aiming at a diploma or a higher certificate. So I'm not going to talk about the diploma passes, they are there, that is the reality of it, and we want to work to move away from them so that all those numbers, they can go up to our business degree, bachelor degree passes. So now we've got the total number of A's, and then the total number of B's, the total number of C's. So again, the aim is that you see that there are D's, there are E's, there are double E's, double F's down there. We want to move away from it, because the aim is to have quality results. And also the subjects which you are taking, you need to start looking at that. If you see yourself passing 30-40% in a subject, you need to look that as a family, we'll also do that. I will also do that with them with time so that we can come up with a solution to that. So you see there are certain kids who manage to get, like in maths, we passed last year maybe with the 50, with math, with the 45, we are still together. We are hoping that you start putting up your resources, putting in the effort, and for every subject you must average at least the 60 for it to be reasonable, for it to make sense when you get to the 12. Because sitting with the 50 at the end of this year, remember that there is a picture Mr. Toma is going to talk about what happened this year. It took it past, but if you go to enjoy kind of results, where are you going? So let's move on to aggregate analysis. So if you look at this is the aggregate analysis in term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. This is the reality of our grade 11s currently, or at the end of 2024. In term 1, we had those between 187, or in term 1, all in term 1, 2, and 3, and then term 4, it dropped. This is the exam term. Right? And then B's, C's, D's, we don't even want to talk about that, and E's. But that is the reality of the group, which means we need to make all those D's and E's. These are aggregates. So if your child is in that group there, we need to have serious conversations. Because when we go, if we go to the 12th year, will you achieve our target as a school? Will you achieve your goals as an individual? These are difficult decisions that have to be made, and we need to make them this year. If we can make these decisions by the end of term 1, term 2 we start building to aiming at 70% aggregate, which means we move away from it. No pressure, but it has to be done. Moving on. 2024 grade 10 subject averages. So we've got those averages, and you can see the subjects which are of concern. Africans, you can see we need to bring it up. We've got mathematics, we need to bring it up. We've got history, which was a concern. Now we've got a new teacher there. We're hoping that those marks will improve greatly in grade 11. And we've got data studies and mathematics, that one, grade 1 and that, IT. So all those which are below 60 are of concern. We need to work on that. But I believe that if we make the decisions, because some of the people who are pulling those averages, maybe we need to make those decisions. We need to be in there. I don't know. Those are the things we need to face head on and make those painful decisions. Moving on to the next slide. We have a comparison with other grade 10s of yesteryear. So you will see that those who were in grade 10 in 2021 will be recipients of 2022. Who were in grade 10 in 2022 and the recipients of 2024. Those who were in grade 10 in 2023 will be the current recipients, and our current grade 11 will be the 2026 recipients, and those are their averages per term, and then we will go the average for the year. So you can see we have been moving up, but not as much as we would have wanted to, because remember our target is to move this for every grade to a 70%. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, IB averages is somewhere around 69 or something. Mr. Toma will allude to that. So our target right now, as we sit, is to move by 63.60. Or if we look at the term 4, it's 62.12 for all our grade 11s. It's not something difficult. We have to make the decisions. If we need to change subjects, the time is still there. It's only in grade 12 where we will only be allowed to change the subject once in term 1. Right now, you can change the subject at the beginning of every term. So we need to sit every time when we get our tests, when we get our reports at the end of this term. You need to sit. You've got your goal, which is your admission point score, and look at it. Are you there? Are you getting it? So we cannot just wait until the end of the year. Let's look at every assessment that is being written. Where are we? Are we closer to our goal? Is our vision becoming clearer? How is it going? Then next slide, we've got our grade level. These are numbers in our subjects. So we expect this to change as the year progresses, because there will be drops. Some will be dropping this, picking up that. Decisions will be made. That's the level. That is the level. Okay. So what I will just say is on the next slide where we say proper preparation prevents poor performance. I think our doctor said a lot on that. We all have talents. Let's our chips fall in the right places. By the end of this year, let's settle for the subjects where we are strong in. And also let's put in the effort. Not only do we have to change the subject, maybe we need to change attitude. We need to change attitude. We need to start acting like matriculants, because matric does not start in 2026. It already started in 2024, because National Senior Certificate is the 3-year course. And also the parents need to come and support our pupils. Give them time to study. Sometimes they need tough love. Screen time must be reduced. We need to support them. And sometimes take the cell phone at 7. If they need to study, we must do it without a cell phone. Screen time after 7, it's a no-no. Okay. Thank you.
Now call on Mr. Sloman to discuss the IB result.
Right, so the main agenda of this meeting is to paint the reality to you as parents, as people, so that we can know what type of effective intervention we can put in place. And I think from the statistics that we have received, I don't think it is glorious. To be honest with you, we are not saying we are not happy with the efforts that we are putting, but we are of the opinion that I think as a school and as a group, as a cohort, we have got the great potential to do and to excel, so that at least we can do and achieve the best results that can also, we can celebrate at the end of 2026 and also the beginning of 2027 when we come and we get our results. So that's the idea. I think so many of you, there were a lot of numbers that were thrown in there, confusing and sometimes not making sense. Also the time that we have for you to digest those numbers. Please, this PowerPoint will be shared to you, so that at least some of you are very analytical and would like to assess and also ask and inquire what is being done in all those kind of things. I think it's most of the subjects that have been mentioned. What are we doing in order to improve our results? For the first time, I think for each cohort, the similar analysis is done, and also meetings are held in order to discuss what can be done. From even last year, the Africans have started even offering what is called additional classes, identifying the classes or the pupils that are underperforming, so that at least those averages can improve. So it's not like we're sitting with poor numbers, but we are not doing anything on our own. We expect the kids to change their attitude, but what is the teacher doing in actually improving those? And as we go forward, I think this year we saw that there will be some evening classes which started before last year. They were not there for the grade 11s of last year. We did not have that, but for this cohort, we realized that our target, if we can cover as much content as possible in grade 11, it puts less pressure into the 12 when we focus on exam strategies and exam techniques. More time with the 12s of 2026 so that at least we can prepare them to the best of our ability. So that is the thinking behind where these lessons are now opening up. Why is it if you had a child who was in grade 11 last year, now in grade 12, this was never happening? It was because that cohort, their results did not require that kind of a strategy or intervention. And if we start early, the earlier the better. We strive this year, and next year we give a sigh of relief. I know there is a lot, we are aware that there are some parents who are also staying out of town and they have to drive these long distances. You are picking up your child at 4, you're supposed to be back at 6, and you are supposed to be back at 8, and some of the times I've seen some of you camping here until 8:30 to realize that surely I cannot drive to Bucking West and only to halfway through there I have to return. But we appeal to you and we also acknowledge your effort and your support. And we thank you for that sacrifice that you are making, and we promise to deliver on those results. As Mr. Makiwa has also explained, we have a target set also at board level to say that they would like to achieve, not only, we have been achieving 100% for the past 14 years. So surely we can't be continuously celebrating 100% and putting that on the newspaper. What is the quality of our results? What are we getting out of it? And what is the cohort performing? This year, I think, yes, we have got a lot to celebrate because we have seen some of those achievements where we had 100% pass rate. Of those 62 candidates, they also 53 of them, or the 62 were 100% pass rate. Only 9 of those 62 achieved a diploma pass. So there was no child who had a higher certificate. So all of them means they are aggregate, they were about 40%. We are not actually achieving those 30% that we have seen. Of course, to get us evidence that we have achieved or we have attended matric. When you hear in the news, I think there's a lot of criticism about the pass requirements in South Africa, and we think that maybe these are the people who are going to be doctors. To say, imagine if you are going to be operated by a doctor who is a 30% in this, what it doesn't mean. At least they know 30% of your body. 70% of but that's not what it is. Because if you have 30%, you will never be admitted to study towards medicine. You just have evidence that you have attended matric, where they say that I think in advance for some of you who are employers, where you need someone with a matric certificate. Those are the people that we are referring to, where you do not specify any kind of quality to say that you need to achieve this in maths, you need to achieve this in maths, you need to. But that's what you mean by a matric certificate. You say, oh no, I want grade 12, I want grade 12. But let's not talk about the results. There it is. That's what we mean. But when you look at those passes, so that's what we have. And 32% of our candidates, they also achieved, out of the cohort of that 32, they achieved a 70% aggregate. The aggregates that we saw there were in our current kind of relevance. We are currently sitting with an aggregate of 63%. But last year's aggregate, I think they achieved 65%. But remember, our target is 70%, so it means it's still work in progress, and then we'll be able to achieve that. Thank you, Mr. Lee. All right, so the ducks on the bed, I think you've seen, and if you've just maybe watched the story behind this. More importantly, as much as we can celebrate his achievement in terms of academics, but what we celebrate is the young people or young persons that we produced at the end of that year as a community. Because this is a boy who is the youngest in the grade, who lost both of his parents, and the last one he lost it last year when he was actually writing, after writing and doing exams, towards his prelims, towards his final exams, he lost his mother, and he was left with no mother. So it means he had his auntie, his uncles and aunties had to jump in the school as a community. We also have to understand that we are dealing with someone who is hurt, someone who is, I don't think in a state that you will be able even to complete the matric examinations. Understandably so. I think it was not going to be a shock for us if he did not even write because of what he was going through. He persevered. He asked for time out, took that, recovered, and this is what he achieved. So as grade 11s, as we sit here, I think this is more of a beacon of hope for all of us to say sometimes we cry a lot and say we are going through it. We are sitting here today, probably with a guardian and a parent, but there was once a boy at CBC who did not have this opportunity when we invite parents to come to a meeting. This is the supportive, best foundation of your support system. When you've got a parent next to you, as much as you might not be agreeing on 90% of the things that they do, but they are there because they care about you. And here is one child who wrote these exams. Without that kind of support, I think you would wanted to have someone, his mother or his father, to be there for him, but he did not have it. So before we mourn and cry about our challenges, I want you to use this as more of a benchmark. To say that if he did not have that, why am I not actually able to perform better than him? Or close to what he has done. And you can actually see for the subject that he missed that distinction. They are very close to a distinction. Chances are if he applies for a mark, it might be 2 marks for him to achieve an A aggregate in his FSM mark, in his SFSP. 2-3 marks. So it's a possibility. These is questions, papers are marked by human beings. And also sometimes they are too strict. And then it's possible that surely candidate who achieve those kind of results will go and can celebrate these results, but the kind of individual who is persevering, who is also, I think I'm confident, wherever he's going to go, you will be able to encounter every challenge. And I think he's so independent as an individual because there's no storm that can just have taken over and overcome that. And now we look at the others. That also performed, but also I think as they were published these results, please take note that when you come to grade 12 at the beginning of grade 12 next year, there will be a consent form that we will circulate to say that do you want your results to be published? We ask the pupils, we don't ask the parents. We ask them because they are the owners of the results. And then we will share that with the parents to say that your child has chosen to publish the results, or normally if they don't want the results to be published, that's when we can either share with them. But not to force them to say, maybe please allow them to share the results with them, but just for you to say, because the impression sometimes it gives, if you don't see a learner on this list, you might think that they were not in the top 10 or they were not top achievers. That's not the case, because we've got about 4 of them who were in the top 10 who chose not to be published. And as a result, unfortunately, we can't even share and talk to you about those results. Some of you who have got children who were in the 2024 group, one of them was published by mistake, and within 5 minutes, I think, sure, we were threatened with all legal issues and everything, but I think those are the things we are not doing it. I don't think it brings bad publicity. When we say we republish your results, we will never publish them if they are not of quality that we are also happy with. We will send something out into the media, something that we know will also help us in our marketing, something that we know that will also put us in a good state. So when you do that, it's not because you want to expose you negatively and what, but people have got different reasons why they don't want their results to be published. Some of them were the top results, second from the judges. Same results, missing by 1% or 2 from there, the difference is minimal. But that's why they chose it, that's why we have some list. That's why we do not show some of the results from there. I know you might have a list of who was in the top 10 in this class, especially if you had a child there. So why is so not in this? It's because they did not want to publish their results. So these were some of our top achievers, and I'm pleased to inform you that the previous slide that we have shown, those students are now already in America on a nice excursion or whatever year they are going to take, and then I think it will give them another one. Today I also received another excellent news. One of that kind of group also, from those 2 we have just shown, has been accepted in one of the universities in America, where she's going to start mechanical engineering. So that child I'm talking about is not even in the top 10 of the results that we are also showing you, with the 50% bursary that is going to be also offered. So for us, those are the things that we also show. We have put a good mark in there and we achieve. Those are our next, I think, top achievers. With also very good results and also very well presented results, and I'm pleased to announce that all these kids so far have been they've also been accepted in one of our UCT, Stellenbosch, University of Pretoria, and most of them will be, I think, leaving this week. As you know, in Cape Town, I think we have been even some of the parents are sick tonight. They also have those their children who are also leaving, and I think you came back safe. It is very good, and I think we are happy, and I will be able to get more feedback from you as parents, especially when our pupils leave for university. Please share with us what is their weakness when they are at tertiary institution. What is their strength? Because sometimes when you look at these numbers and you compare them to other schools, it is very interesting. I have read reports, but it would look like a marketing gimmick if I start sharing them. But when we hear it from parents, former parents, okay, my child is at university, this is how they are performing, and they are saying that, sure, there was a child who came from St. John's with 15 distinctions, but this is what is happening. The 15 distinction child is like a robot, and we are left behind. We don't know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then maybe we will be able to create those AI children and then send them out also in the world, because we know we have the feedback. We are not connected on the other end. We have got limited, I think, encounters with them. But what we get from you is normally what we use, so that at least we can improve. We have one of the children who is also on this results, is a professor at one of these universities. He has provided us with some statistics, just an analysis of how CBC kids are performing relative to other top schools. So that was a wonderful expression. And he said to us, he gave us the goods and the bad to say, okay, what can we do? Because he's of the opinion that maybe we might be too strict. We are now disadvantaging our kids for their SBA, and when they apply universities deal with the numbers. They don't deal with where are you coming from, what kind of a child are you. Some of them, but it is now known that this group of kids, how they are performing and how they are doing in tertiary. So please share with us some of that, and that would be very nice to hear. And when I sit here and I meet some of you, and I heard that, oh, sure, my child is actually doing it, has also achieved the cum laude kind of results, and he does all his results are excellent. He does not even have to go and write the sub and everything which they've shared with us, and we are so chuffed. And those are the people that also here, but also those who are struggling, please also let us know so that we can also help ourselves tremendously for that. So, right, all of this I think is on our social media platforms and all the other platforms that we have. Is parents, I think you will be able to receive them on your groups when you in 2027, so don't be in a rush to exit those groups to make our money like us. So please just keep on there until the results are published, because that's where we share this kind of collective information. After you have received the results from us, surely you will be able to exit. So until 2027, please parents, stay on those groups and make sure you will be informed so that at least you can get a full picture of how your child in the class actually performed. So that will be able to help us. Right. So what affects our results is one of the things, the effect of choosing incorrect subjects. Sorry, okay. So this is a screenshot of how the results will look like. That's 2024 metric. If some of them have shared the results, you might be able to find out who it is. But there's a pattern that you can actually see from these results. No matter how much intervention anyone can put, but if a child is not a number person, we can stay at school for 15 hours a day. We can do Saturday classes, we can do evening classes every day. That will never come out. We always write on the report, we strongly advise that your child will need to change from accounting, from mathematics, and from physical science. From grade 10. If you take this child report, that comment has been there. And now when we get to grade 11, what makes us think differently that the results will be better than what they were? You know, they said, no, I've spoken to him or her, she has promised me that she's going to work very hard. I even have master mates, which is now helping. My child is We also have interventions. Our textbook is in video format. Surely, if a child needs intervention, they will be able to approach the teachers and also watch the videos. But because our strategy might not be friendly to some of them and might not be also conducive because they don't want to do the work. So, getting someone, a tutor for your child to support classes with mates from a maths teacher, you are just finding someone who is going to do the assignments for your child. When we send an assignment home, we will get 100%. But when you give the same content on that test in the class, that child will be the lowest. In an assignment, that child is the highest. That's why we have stopped. I don't know if you also track the child. They will never give an assignment to take home. If they take it, it's not counting for marks, so that it can force them to learn. They were grade 10 last year, you can ask them. They used to want because they know that every Friday they write what is called a consolidation exercise. And they used to call it a test. The parents used to yell at us, wow, Mr. Flora, you are putting tests which are not on the test roster. It's not a test. It's a consolidation exercise. I want to see what I have taught is effective on Friday so that at least I can continue or not continue. So when they come home, I have a math test. And you don't see it on the test roster. We are the Quest organized school. They give us a test roster, they don't even follow it. Yes, because why are they doing that now? They are using a wrong strategy. Your child should never study for that if they understood the lesson. They are not supposed to sit and study for that. What were they doing the whole week? What are we asking them? It is things that they have learned throughout the week. How do we know that it is making a positive impact? If we check from time to time. So what do we do? But the challenge is that now parents will say, but Mr. Norman, this is going to affect their results at the time for it is because the caliber of the children that we have nowadays, if you don't tell them, it counts for marks. So why must we put effort? After all, we are just going to, so if I fail, it doesn't matter. So what do we do? Those are strategies that we are putting in to make sure that either they put their best at all times. That's why we want to do maths every day. That's why we want to do Africa 3-4 times. Those are some of the strategies we are putting to give those subjects that need support. And I'm sure those teachers are doing their best in order for these results to work. Allow them to talk. If a child comes in on a regular basis, we can pull out of this. Okay, you've been assessed on this assessment and you got a very common. Did you understand? If a child says no, did you ask? Did you ask? So let's know also, that's what we call tough love, because they need to be speaking out now at this age. We cannot sit here with a child in class who is also wasting their time and your research. I always tell them, stop wasting your parents' stationery. Always do this if you don't copy things that you don't understand. You can always go and copy from there, but their textbook has got answers everywhere. So why do they waste a lot of time copying things on the board that they don't understand and thinking after school it will make sense? When we are sitting with this, look at these results. One of our diploma passes. That D that we have there, that's the diploma passes. But why did this child get a diploma? Life orientation does not count for a BD or diploma pass. In order for you to achieve a bachelor's pass, you need 4 subjects at 50%. So those 4 was CAT, computer application technology, and IT. Look at this child. Very technical. A technical child. That you will see that if the time that they wasted on maths, physical science, and IT, surely if they have chosen alternative subjects, this would be an IT engineer. You don't need maths for you to do IT. It's not a pre-requirement. These are the best people who, if they apply for anything which is IT related, will be accepted first, better than this child who has got 7 distinctions without IT. Because they are programmers. They can code, they can do anything on the computer because of that. But when you see that because of those, now this child is now sitting with the diploma, and unfortunately, obviously, this child will be thinking of re-writing, and I'll show you what the effect of re-writing causes. Then we can go to the next one. Right, there's another child. Celebrated out of our 52 out of 62, those who got diploma, bachelor's degree pass, we have another child who has a bachelor's degree pass. And look. Sure. There's a correlation. All the subjects. Because of the teachers. Very good. Teachers are the best. And then we get those results. 17%. I'm sorry, they are not here, that's why I'm saying this. Only 10% can achieve that. Because if you want to do right, 17. Alright, say so. 30%. Chances are this child got 0 for the exam. That's the reality of the issue, because when you look at the child's case mark, it was above 17. So how can you go back? It's a 0. We don't get the exam mark and everything else. But of course, we had a case mark. This child was sitting on a case mark of 30%, but that counts 25% of the final mark. So for you to get 17, chances are was copying the question throughout the exam, rewriting the question paper, just to be busy. That's what it looks like. It's unexplained. You cannot even find the correlation of what it is. So what these kids do normally, we can have all excuses. I think I don't have achieved this, but I still want to go and do a BCom accounting program degree at university. So say I need to improve my results. We will never say, oh, please can I please come in and rewrite? Boom, next slide. That's what happens. That's a rewrite. As you can see, the child who came to rewrite because of that bad decision of the maths and physical science, they've achieved in the West. When they came and they wrote, this child had 48% in mathematics and had 34% for physical science. When this child walked out of this exam, said, sure, we were very cruel during our year because we exams and whatever we wrote were very difficult. And then they came and rewriting. It's not an option, you cannot put it as an option. So let me continue with the maths, physical science and accounting so that I will be able to come and learn. As much as we want to give them, to open the doors, these results are actually closing the doors. Because no one would want you to be able to take a child with 17% in math, even if your results you meet the APS score, the admission point system. For tertiary, you meet when you've got a bachelor's degree pass and then you can get the results, so you will never achieve. So those are some of I think the ins and the outs in terms of subject choices. So if you have a child where we have actually said it again and again from term 2 in grade 10 to say, please change your subject, that's the hardest topic that we need to talk about now. Where there's a possibility to move from Mr. Makiwa to Mr. Makiwa, Mr. Makiwa, Makiwa, and that can be part of the discussion. No, my child does not understand you. Fair enough. We have heard them and they have moved. That's acceptable. Mr. Floma, the way you teach and whatever, the way you are teaching, then we can discuss that to say, but okay, what can we do better and how can we help each other? Bring it and don't be scared or shy, and because that's the result will never improve if you try to fix a lie. If a child does not understand me, does not click with the way I teach, say yes, I will never take offense, and I don't think any of the teachers will take offense. Now we have grown as a school, as a high school, where we have got that kind of ability to say, okay, we have got 2 teachers in maths, we have got 3 teachers in maths. Last year we had that, and in one of the classes we had 2 teachers in one class. So that we'll be able to say, no, maybe they don't understand me, or that child, can you please go, Mr. Magasa, go and give assist, give one-on-one attention. And that's because of those analysis of those things that you see. Every cohort has got its own requirements and its own challenges. So those are the interventions sometimes we also give in terms of results. So if you can help us to make sure that we are able to produce this, and would like to help you. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. This meeting is supposed to actually put us off our comfort zone. We want to shake it. We cannot be comfortable with whatever we are shaking. And I know sometimes I think it might be depressing for some of us to say, hey, they called us to share us negative news. Can you imagine? But that's where we are. And the intention is not to say that when the results come, we told you so. No, it's a matter of, you said it, what are you doing? Mr. Floma, since you have got that presentation, I see there's no intervention in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The results are still continuing this. And we are talking to those individual kids, talk to yourself, okay, I see you're performing very well with this. Has Mr. Floma ever approached you, or you are talking, doing this as someone approached you in order to about your performance. I think that would be very helpful because sometimes we cannot take talk in general in terms of when your child needs a specific kind of intervention and how they are. We see them in class and we know people support. There's also a program, and if your child was struggling last year, today they might have brought a book, and also it's something that they have to do. Teenagers are teenagers, we never get it on them. They will be sulking, and then this is why I call it this is your embarrassment. We call them aside today, and then we gave them those books, and what we have realized is, let's start with the basics, time management. Do they even know how to manage their time? We want to know what they're doing. So they've been given a schedule where they will be writing their time management schedules in a notebook that is given. They take it to people support. It's not to reach out or to check on them, but it is like they want to understand. Oh, this child is hectic schedule after school. So if they've got a hectic schedule after school, how can we assist in trying to make those good decisions to balance their life? They need a lot of sleep, they need enough sleep, they need to make sure that when they come to school, they are not tired. And also when they leave school, they disconnect, they go to extramuros. So do not withdraw a child from extramuros because that's why they get that motivation. That's where they learn how to interact with others so that they can create study groups. You cannot create a study group if you probably don't play any team sports that you are not in, but you don't know how to be a team player. How are you going to ask for help? So that's where we come in with extramural, and then we will hope that with these kind of innovations, everything will work and it will be in order. Thank you very much for joining us, and I now take this opportunity to take some questions from you as parents and concerned with anything that you'd like. If you want us to meet tomorrow again, I'm here to listen. May I take some questions, please? We thank you, and it is unfortunate to speaking to the converted. And the faces that I see are always the faces that I see. The faces that I don't want you to see during parents' meeting. You are coming in, but keep supporting us, and we